It was a dream to live here, one that's now a nightmare.
Overnight, we've lost, I would say, 60 feet of land.
Michael Taxdall's house has a sidewalk to nowhere. The Skagit River, greedy for land, has cut into more than 100 feet in some spots. Riverbanks slide away every few minutes.
Oh, there it goes.
And with it goes whatever is on the edge.
Just unreal. It's unreal.
There goes another part of the bank.
Come on, there it goes. Oh no. Oh God. There goes a big slab of her. A lot of people are going to be affected by this, that's for sure.
It started Wednesday. Since then, 3 families are now homeless.
Nobody ever figured in our lifetime that this was going to happen here, or else we would have moved years ago.
Oh, look at, oh.
Right now, I can't even describe the feeling that I feel.
See it, buddy?
And if anyone's mad about it,
I'm tired of it.
it's Mayor
Frankly, I'm tired of it.
Eddie Hills.
Why do you think I called an emergency? You think I called it just for fun?
He's talking to Governor Inslee's office right now, but he's been on the phone for days with federal and state officials demanding help, but getting none.
This whole river, you've failed. Next time's not going to matter. And it's not going to matter for these people.
Now left without a home, paying a mortgage on land that's disappeared. Life feels a lot like this sidewalk. A future as uncertain as the river current below.
It's a sad deal. We never figured in our lifetime that this would happen here. We just did not figure that this was going to happen here.
From patient to patrol.
Yeah, you're a real trooper. Trooper Shane.
He's on watch at Harborview tonight.
And your hat?
Oh, badge.
Yeah, it's my badge, but I'm letting you use it. Because you're my partner, right? Yeah.
3-year-old Shane arrived here on June 10th as a burn victim. After becoming the most recent State Patrol trooper, he made the rounds tonight and told a patient about the accident.
When I was running, I accidentally followed over the black into the fire pit.
Shane fell 3 feet into a fire pit in his family's backyard. Shane suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns. He endured a surgery and several skin grafts.
Wanna go look for bad guys?
But it has done little to dim his spirit.
And where's the bad guy now?
Oh, we love him. He's just the sort of patient that the nurses don't want to let go.
He's our little mascot. We always need a Shane around.
He's popular among the nurses and even the other patients.
Did you already take a picture?
Well, I think he's great. You got to have lots of entertainment in the hospital, so it's good to have him on the floor.
The outlook for his recovery is good.
Could have been worse, and we feel blessed that it wasn't.
The family hopes by sharing their story, people will be careful this summer.
I'm right here.
Safety is on his mind.
The kid's the bad guy.
Apparently I'm the bad guy.
He will go home soon, and there's no doubt they're going to miss this face around here. He's been through so much, but he's still smiling, still bringing joy, and still being Shane.
He's healing well. He'll have some scars, but he's a trooper. Not just a state trooper, but in life he's a trooper.
That sound you hear is on this day a mix of melancholy, sad.
Last night in Detroit, and nobody there knew. That would be the last performance and the last song and the last cover ever done by Chris Cornell and the band.
The sound of a man synonymous with Seattle.
God, how do you sum up his voice? He is the voice of Seattle, in my opinion. Born and raised in Seattle, that voice, unlike any other voice, and it just cut through everything else you heard on a commercial radio dial.
KEXP DJ John Richards says Chris Cornell let a band burned into this fabric.
Their name weaves into the fabric, the Soundgarden. I mean, that's so Seattle, right? I think they may have been the most Seattle bands of all the Seattle bands.
Symbolizes the band to me.
Named after a space at Magnuson Park.
It just brings back memories of my teenage years.
A memorial today.
It's kind of just depressing that, just the emotions and thoughts he must have had.
His voice echoes from places like Discovery Park or Pike Place Market, and a song named after a street musician who played there. And up on Capitol Hill,
you know the song, Black Hole Sun.
more reflections about the born and raised Seattleite.
When you listen to the song and you're in Seattle and you know, the weather and just the people, it's a very representative.
It's not easy because we're dealing with a lot of change in this city. A lot of change in this city.
There is no other musician whose voice has been a part of the landscape.
He really does represent the past and the present right now for Seattle.
It is why late today he was honored with the sound of silence.
This silence for Chris Cornell. May he rest in peace.
Chris Cornell, for many, represents a time and a place in Seattle, a city with all the changes that now has lost a piece of the past.
Thank you.
In Seattle, Chris Daniels.
Where does your mind go when you're alone with your thoughts?
I don't cry all day like I used to.
For this mom, in this month,
I don't like the month of February.
on that day,
The last day of the month, I know what that means.
it means thinking about one thing.
Thinking about Chris. You bet.
February 28th, 16 years ago,
You bet.
Kim Kime Parks lost a son.
For us, our journey's been almost 16 years.
Cameron lost a brother.
That was my big brother, my big Bubba.
I was 16 when he passed away.
Poor Kirsten was just, she just idolized her brother.
Now I'm 32, so I've literally lived half of my life without my brother.
16 years since that day.
Yeah, we're all watching TV and we see people getting in fights and punching and beating people up.
Seattle's Mardi Gras riots. It's 2001.
Yeah, I was watching the TV and I thought, this is crazy. This is crazy. I shut the TV off.
A 20-year-old man comes to the rescue of a woman.
Just the instinct took in to go help her.
It turns out Chris is trying to save someone he doesn't even know.
I mean, that's the definition of a good Samaritan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then the next morning we see the deal where this guy was getting carried out.
If I'd been watching it half an hour later, I would have seen him carrying Chris out.
Chris Kime is beaten to death by someone in the crowd.
He's a definite hero. Yeah, definite hero.
A hero for what Chris did that night and for what he continues to do.
But look at what he's done in those 16 years.
I know, it's amazing.
Yep, and it continues and continues and continues and continues.
Ray Page.
16 years you've lived with this.
Yep.
Chris's right kidney.
Sits right there.
On his left side.
So for us, it made a huge difference. He's alive, and I have a husband, she has a dad.
So how you feeling?
Great. Yeah. Kidney's working perfect. If the rest of the body was doing as good, I'd be in great shape.
It changed Ray's life.
We're doing good.
Definitely.
One kidney for Ray, Chris's other kidney went to Jesse Bettis.
The kidney just was a miracle.
Without the kidney,
death.
Jesse's life was extended 6 more years. That's Jessie to the right, savoring this moment with her daughter.
Jessie, who got to
go to her daughter's wedding. Yeah, no, it's amazing.
all these lives saved as a result.
I know. Pretty incredible, isn't it?
He helped a whole bunch of us. I think it was about 13 or 14 of us total.
His heart was beating in Larry.
Larry's got the heart.
Larry Levinson. This is from my last interview with Larry 10 years after his heart transplant.
He's a hero in your eyes. Oh, absolutely.
We've been Facebook friends ever since. I've checked in on him from time to time. Checked in on Ray, too, and his family.
I know Larry's almost as much of a modern medical miracle as Dad is. Like, there's something about those two guys that, if you look at them on paper, there's not a whole lot of reason that either of them should still be here, right?
If he didn't get the heart when he got it, he was gone.
Chris Kime's legacy.
Yeah.
My heart was coming from Chris Kime.
Kim will never forget meeting Larry for the first time.
She walked up and wrapped herself around me.
And hugged him so hard and listened to his heart. And I just went, oh my God, it's Chris, it's Chris.
That was her deal. Chris was still there.
From that moment on, lifelong friends. Look at Larry's Facebook profile pic from 2014. He writes, "My heart transplant family." And he adds, Chris's mother took the picture.
And I tried to get a hold of him, and I know his health is he's not doing well.
In fact, on Larry's birthday, just before the new year, Kim wrote on Larry's Facebook page these words: "Almost 16 years as a beloved member of our family. We are so blessed. You have honored Christopher so well. We love you."
What else could I say? I mean, it's just, he's here, and the only reason he's here is because of Chris.
So let me stop you there,
Okay.
because I had seen something on Larry's Facebook page that Kim had not. Birthday wishes from someone else, followed by these words.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Larry, gone but not forgotten.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. No, they didn't.
She knew this day would come. It doesn't make it any easier.
Doctors told him then that Larry, he had about 2 weeks to live. And look what he got. My son gave him 15 and a half years. How incredible is that? You can't ask anything more than that.
We now know Larry Levinson died peacefully of a heart attack a few months ago. We know Chris gave gifts of life.
The gift was amazing, and it's something that was truly a blessing to him.
To them.
I guess that's nature. We all go sooner or later. You can tell your friends, become organ donors.
We know Ray is on a mission to spread the word.
You can get up to 75 people you can help if you become a donor.
We watched him share his story with students at Wenatchee Valley College.
The doctor patted me on the foot. He said, "Mr. Page, you got a kidney of a 20-year-old who got killed by a head trauma."
What Ray didn't know, who was in the audience.
Hey.
Hey, what was it like to meet the family?
Oh, that was awesome.
Like me.
To meet Kim?
And me, Cameron.
Oh, Let's see. So he was that high?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that now.
No,
yeah.
right there.
Yeah, right there, yeah.
9.
Sitting in the front seat going like this, yeah. Cool. When'd you get over here?
Hour ago.
Really?
Drove over to come here for you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
One person can make a difference. Look what he did. And he continues to do it, and we continue to tell his story.
All because of a young man who left behind something no one could take from him, even when someone took his life.
He wanted to give the gift of life.
That gift to help others.
And he helped a whole bunch of us
live.
Incredible. But I mean, these people were here for so much longer.
Because of Chris.
Because of Chris. That's right.
John Sharifi. Lon Cole finds himself sitting there sometimes. Sitting there, thinking about those things that haunt him.
I don't think you'd ever forget stuff like that.
It's those things he'd rather forget. Impossible to forget.
What is your fear for him?
It's kind of already come.
I did my time in hell.
When thoughts swirl in his head, he knows he needs to grab them, put them down on paper before they disappear.
So your fear is that that blank piece of paper will remain blank one day?
Oh, yes. We seem to get tired more.
Sometimes for this Vietnam veteran, it's hard to keep track.
I've got Parkinson's. I got peripheral neuropathy, diabetes.
PTSD.
And
the things he forgets.
I can't even remember all the things that the doctors tell me I have.
It's a lot of things. A lot.
Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I had Alzheimer's. Yeah, I definitely got that one.
He has been dealt this hand, and he must live with it.
The hardest part for me is the fear that I'll be a burden to my family. how sad and lonely they will feel.
Lon's wife, Chris.
He realizes now that he's deteriorating a lot more than he ever did.
I'm starting to forget my family's names, calling them by wrong things.
You know, there's good days and there's bad days, and there's even good days and bad days for me where I'm like, nah.
I don't like that.
Why do you write?
I write because it helps me, and then people who read it, it's going to help them. I hope. And sometimes when I write, it's so hard to capture in words to express. It just comes out literally. In words to express. As fast as I can move the hand.
He keeps writing.
Yes. He doesn't write as much.
That scares me, you know, when I totally can't do it anymore.
He knows that day will come.
So freedom would never end.
That his Alzheimer's will get the best of him.
Then I feel like everything's locked up inside of me and I can't express it. And poetry is my one way that I can express a lot. This is a poem I wrote while I was in Vietnam after a few months of being a medic. It's called The Scream of Pain. You hear the scream of pain, you will know a soldier was slain. I was patching up Marines because we got ambushed. You could hear the poor boy cry 1,000 miles. Right away, I had 2 of them die on me. Why so many young men die this old way? It's hard when you lose them and you can't save them. I mean, that's the ultimate agony.
Those memories.
But the pain that comes from it, I'd like to forget. I'm really sorry. I need a handkerchief.
He still feels those losses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That never goes away, does it?
No, I think, you know, when you see that kind of thing, it really pierces your heart for forever.
The things he remembers.
Life is a gift. It really is.
The things he forgets.
Before I come into the room, and I can't remember why I came into the room.
Lon knows he must write and knows what he must write about.
Hope brings strength and courage to go on.
Messages of hope.
I talk about that in my writing.
Fill the pages of his life now, his life with Alzheimer's.
We all need hope. There's a lot of people out there that have a lot of pain and not too much hope, and so I hope I'll be able to give them hope and ease their pain and brighten their day.
He's determined. Determined to write.
Hope is the anchor for the soul.
Until he can't anymore.
It lifts you and guides you wherever you go.
John Sharifi.
Having hope is like a breath of fresh air. It drives away fear and erases despair.
How was your 2017?
2017.
It was a long one.
Long year.
Crazy. I think a lot of years fly by, and this one was long.
Whacked. So you want the good, right?
2017 was a great year.
Yes! In my life, it was good.
Good in a number of ways.
We had our health.
A lot of learning experiences and opportunity for growth.
Deepening of friendships.
Oh yeah, we made friends this year.
We made friends this year.
Yeah.
I live downtown Seattle. I mean, just to look at visually, it's beautiful. We live in a beautiful place. That's a good thing.
What's been good in Seattle?
Sounders made it back to the finals.
Not that everybody approves, but Donald Trump has done well for our stock market.
The economy, we're growing and building.
Lots of development, and we got foosball downtown in Occidental Park. Nice.
We got NHL, which NBA's to follow. That's key right there.
The good thing that I feel like is happening in our country is people rising up and being less apathetic.
Because before 2017, there wasn't a Me Too movement.
And not the bravery, that's like gusto where people are like, damn it, if she said it, I'm going to say it. And I love that.
Bad, I mean...
My car engine went out. I got some pretty bad work done on it.
I suppose it's all relative, right?
Sounders lost in the finals.
I mean, my rent increased, that sucked.
You know, unfortunately, we did have some tragedies around the world.
Yeah, what happened in Las Vegas or any of the myriad of different natural disasters.
I was personally affected with the flooding that happened in Houston because I do have family down there.
Unfortunately, Puerto Rico was pretty ravaged as well.
I'm just going to go right out and say it.
I think it was a pretty angry year.
The whole Trump presidency.
The liberals and the Democrats and the Republicans, there's so much fighting and everybody's hateful. It's not one group, it's all of them. I don't like the back and forth. I like people to be able to talk without getting angry.
Because I can't control any of that stuff. All I can control is my happiness.
A lot of people that I know, and myself included, you get overwhelmed, and again, as cowardly as it sounds, you sort of shut off.
You said the last one was what I'm hopeful for?
I'm so hopeful.
I'm hopeful to be able to share some of the lessons I learned with other people.
Get my blood pressure down.
I'm hopeful that as a city, we can do something about our homeless population.
I'm an optimist, and I'm encouraged about 2018.
See, it's a little Latin quote, Dum spiro speros, while I breathe I hope.
You gotta just maintain that vision.
If you're not hopeful, what's the point of all this, right?
Just put one foot in front of the other.
You have the frustration of 2017. It's gritty and it's vandalism and the fact that it's a heart. And I see the frustrated expression of people wanting to make the world a better place.
Here's to 2018.
Here's to 2018.
The love of boxing
I dream about it.
has brought them here.
You gotta be mentally ready.
It's a rough sport.
You'll have good days, you have bad days.
A little bit of nosebleed, hey.
If you don't know in your mind that you're gonna win, you lost before the first bell.
Get them talking about it.
I look like the fast-paced environment.
You'll see their eyes light up.
This is the learning stage, the most important part of boxing.
Get them talking about the sport.
You gotta push yourself every single day.
You'll soon discover
Personally, I think it takes like a lot of discipline.
they might as well be talking about
It's all what you put into it.
life.
You learn just about everything from boxing.
From him. From his trainer, Brett Summers.
Guess what my job is? To make it more difficult.
Boxing's in Brett's soul. Yeah, that's his life.
It doesn't matter who you are. If you're a heavyweight, professional, Doc Barrett. If you're just starting out,
Step.
Leslie Hernandez.
Step.
Brett pushes you to be better.
I push them and they respond and it works.
There you go, see? There you go.
Life lessons.
It's taught me discipline. It's taught me to believe.
Like I said, it doesn't matter who you are.
1, 2, 3.
Even if you're someone who never imagined
9, 10.
you'd ever step into the ring.
Yeah.
That's Suzanne Tidingfong.
How's your left hook?
My right hook is pretty strong. Yeah. Never saw myself boxing.
Never. But now, with Brett's help,
I'm fighting back.
and it feels good. To fight, to feel like you can beat this thing.
I don't feel like I'm a victim. It's easy to feel like a victim when you have Parkinson's.
Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative disorder. Symptoms include impaired balance, stiffness, tremors.
My right side, my leg will start shaking. I had my tremors, I had rigidity on this side.
It seems like boxing is so easy. People, boxing is easy. Imagine if you had Parkinson's. Okay, ready? Let's go.
Buzz Tyler doesn't have to imagine.
Right, there you go.
Well, my balance is better, my coordination is a lot better.
Ken Adams doesn't have to imagine.
It's just amazing. When I go home, I stand straight, I have energy. Start with left, 1.
Suzanne got this Parkinson's group together.
4.
Everybody who comes just loves it. There's no cure, and we can hope for a cure, but in the meantime, what can we do?
This.
Back.
They go at it.
Back. Okay, ready? Catch me early.
3 mornings a week.
There you go, again. Stay there, get down.
At Brett Summers' gym in Arlington.
But you're talking about Parkinson's
I know,
here.
but they're no different than me or you, right? They have a disease. And if I treat them like, you got a disease, let's go easy, what's that going to do for them? In my opinion, it doesn't help. You guys go first.
I know what you're thinking. It's what Brett Summers was thinking before he agreed to all of this.
Wait, Parkinson's for boxing, that's what you get from boxing.
Muhammad Ali comes to mind, although the jury is still out if boxing was to blame.
He had Parkinson's.
And I mean, I think that's maybe karmically appropriate, that it actually can help some of the symptoms too.
I know it's helped them all. Good. Don't let your feet click together. Keep them apart.
If you just talk to the rehab folks when they're working with people with Parkinson's, it's moving back and forth, moving side to side, going backwards.
And if we go back nearly 40 years, you'll see two champs in this picture.
I was the number one in the country, yes. Number one 106 pounder in the nation.
The amateur athletic national champ with the heavyweight champ of the world. They met at Muhammad Ali's boxing camp. Brett Summers went on to fight professionally in the super lightweight division, winning 28 fights, 19 knockouts.
My last fight was in, 1987 against Joe Frazier's kid, Joe Frazier Jr. I lost. I said, okay, it's time to get out. 6.
He's back in, helping others
You gonna hit me, huh?
with his lighthearted approach.
I'll hit you. I could be the stern guy saying, okay, do this, do that. I'm not, I'm the jokester. Can we cut for a minute? Why are you upset? Why? Just that I'm helping.
Using your skills to help.
Exactly.
It's about making a difference in our lives, and that's probably where he gets emotional.
Let's back up again.
I tend to get really tense when I jump.
Before Suzanne first stepped into the ring.
I have a hard time switching my feet because my left foot doesn't respond.
Before that call to Brett.
It was that one phone call.
One phone call. I felt it was fate.
I said, well, I'm willing to give it a try.
Before he said yes.
Okay.
Suzanne needed to get her doctors at UW Medical Center to say yes to this idea. Dr. Andrew Coe.
Obviously, I was thinking, when you say boxing, what do you mean?
Here's what she meant.
It's non-contact, so that has to be very clear. Nobody's hitting anybody in the head.
Do it again, do it again.
Everything but the contact.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dr. Coe gave his blessing.
1, 2.
So I was in favor of it.
Easy decision, actually.
Challenging our balance, our coordination, which are things that you lose with Parkinson's.
That's Roland Campbell.
8.
Diagnosed with Parkinson's last year.
11.
Here's what you don't know about this 78-year-old.
Not here.
Oh, the doctor told me I didn't have a reverse.
He couldn't walk backwards. Doctors told him,
don't even try it. You're gonna end up hurting yourself by falling. Just one big step down, yeah.
Look at him now.
Walking backwards, and he can do it. So I think when his neurologists see him, they're going to be very surprised.
For what I do, it's the reward is huge. Look at me. Look at eye contact.
Here's what else you don't know. Roland.
Anything better to look at?
Yeah. Look at me.
Is Brett's uncle.
There you go.
Brett's inspiration.
Look at me.
To open his gym to those fighting Parkinson's.
You want that? You want that?
That might explain his tears.
It's just that I can help, and that's. You know, people have skills and they take their skills and they do it and then they quit and they don't pass it on.
It is a gift. It's a gift to us, to those of us who have Parkinson's. 9, 10,
that
11,
gift
12,
to help them fight this disease
14,
like their lives depend on it.
I want to fight. 17, 18, 19. I really believe that Parkinson's and boxing, it's a match made in heaven.
John Sharifi.
20.